is. I just bought this 1964 Chrysler New Yorker that I know nothing about. It was on Facebook Marketplace for $400, and I messaged them a little bit back and forth, and I said, you know what, the pictures look good, looks like a straight car, I'm sold. And the car does not have a title. Before we put it on the trailer, I just want to take a little walk around and see what it is. I do know it's a 4-door hardtop, and I know that it has a V8 in it, and it's an automatic, but other than that, I have no idea. So I'll be totally honest with you guys, I don't pick up a lot of Chryslers. I haven't seen a car like this for sale in a long time, actually. I think this was a part of Chrysler's like forward look movement. They started the forward look, I think that's what you call it, the forward look in the 50s sometime, and then it extended out into the 60s. And really a signature of Chrysler's forward look was the way that they had these windshields. The way that they curved this way, but the windshield went that way. And what caught my eye about this car, which I say all the time, and this one is no exception, is it's so complete. It's so complete and it's so straight. I just noticed it has a little bit of rust right here by that trim. It's got a little bit of rust right there, but really what can you ask for? The car is, see, a 64. I mean, the car is 60 years old, right? I think 64 to 25, that's 60 or 61 years old, something like that. So that I'm not worried about. But look at this. Oh my gosh, it's as straight as an arrow. Oh, look at that. It's even got the stainless steel door guards for when you're, you know, hitting other people's door in a parking lot. Oh yeah. It's even got the rear one. I think these cars came with a 416 or 418 cubic inch engine. I looked it up. I think that's what it's got in it. We got the gold badging. Check that out. Cursive script, New Yorker with the Chrysler badge. The fact that all that is there is a miracle. I mean, how easy would it be for that to fall off or get gone or get knocked off being so close to the dirt? You know what I mean? We got some, what he said it was like some Nissan rims on this thing just to get it on the trailer, but I do have the original rims. I don't know if we have hubcaps yet. Haven't looked inside the car. He's got them here for me. He said, you can have them. I said, thanks, because you guys know how I like originality. Let's see, coming back here. Look at these wild looking taillights. Look at how they come in and out like that. That little dip in. Man, the styling back then is just so cool. So space age, so jet age. Oh, is this a dealer tag? Oxford. Oh, Oxford University, like Oxford, you know, with the little graduation cap. Let's see, Oxford. Let's see. At the Oxford Circle, Philadelphia, Chrysler, Plymouth. We got our New Yorker. Is this where the... Check it out. That's so cool. This is like a real badge. This isn't a sticker. What is that? I don't know what that means. 32. Can someone tell me what that is? Is this a club? Is this like some kind of alma mater college like sorority frat thing? I don't know what that is. Someone help me with that. Look at, even these are here. The little plastic bumper guards. Insane. Is this the reverse lights? Yep. It's where the plate would have gone. If the plate was there, usually they have like a sticker, like they'll have like a year sticker on there. You got to have them every year, but we don't have that. But I can just tell you right now, this car has not ran in a long time. Should we open up the inside or the hood first? Let's try the hood. Let's just, I guess, you know, tit for tat. I don't know, tomato, tomato. Let's try this. Wow. It looks like somebody literally just drove it and parked it. Such a perfect layer of dust too. Like, look at the top and then like the sides, you know, where dirt doesn't stick because it falls into the rim. Like the dust right here. What do they say? It's like it's worth extra because it's got barn dust. This right here is investment grade barn dust or Arizona desert dust. It's just so perfectly on there. We got a single pot master cylinder with power brakes so that when that single pot master fails, you can use that power booster to blow all your fluid out that much quicker. Every once in a while you get lucky, and I can see rat turds already, but every once in a while you get lucky and you'll see like a little circle date code sticker thing on them. But also, maybe you can even tell by the graphics, you know, because sometimes, like, the graphics change and you can tell something is from the 90s or whatever. Power steering, got all our belts. I always thought the Chrysler AC compressors were kind of crazy looking. They almost look like an air pump on like a semi truck. I mean, it looks like a little Harley V twin engine in there. Hoses, wow, still a little pliable. Belt, oh, it's got a fan clutch. Can't tell if the motor's locked up or not. Got a rad. Let's just check this real quick. Oh my gosh, there's fluid in there. What the heck? There's green coolant. Wow. Can't believe that. I think this is going to be a good car. I did see this. We got Dover Air Force Base. Where is Dover Air Force Base? I'll have to look that up. Is that somewhere in the Philadelphia area? Now, I do know, here we go. Annual windshield sticker, last inspected in 91. Arizona doesn't have inspections. Let's get in this car and see what's in here. Look at the way that opens. It's so like airplane-esque. You ever seen in the middle of a cockpit where they have the throttle? It looks just like this. I'll throw a picture up. This was a very well optioned car. I mean, I'm impressed. We had factory AC. We got power windows. We got 4 switches there. So these must be, yeah, Manuel. Sometimes they even had power vent windows. We got power brakes. We got power steering. We got a radio. We got all the gauges. How many miles are on it? So we got the trip at 450 and the odometer at 28,963. Is that 128 or 28? I don't know. I love how these old horns were like a big old horn ring. Does this say power steering in it? Oh, nope, just says Chrysler. Sometimes they would say like power steering on the steering wheel, you know, because they really wanted you to know how fancy you were, that you paid for it, and we're gonna tell you in the car. Old interiors that haven't been ate up by rats, they give off a natural smell, these old interiors do. And if you can get them like this where they haven't been ruined, they give off a really cool, it's a very recognizable old smell these interiors have, and I like it personally. I first smelled it in my dad's 54 Oldsmobile when he brought it home years ago. What is this? Oh, it's a push button transmission. Oh, that's gonna be fun to see if that works. I don't know what that is. Don't know what that does. Lights, camera action, wipers. Oh, we got, the button here. The fact that that has a button that works means it had the windshield wiper fluid that would shoot on the windshield. So that was extra. So that's fancy. This was a very fancy car. Oil light. Is that it? Is that the only one? Not even a gen light? Oh, I guess it's got a gauge. Got a clock, gas, temperature, defrost, max cool. I love the buttons. Just, that's so space age. I love the buttons. I love like the knobs, you know, that like doing that. It's just neat, really neat. Oh, we got the vents up here. What an interesting designed car. It says door lock. Is that some kind of like power door lock mechanism? That would be interesting. I don't think I've ever had a car of this era that had power door locks. Let's pop this open just real quick. Got a few papers. Glove box is in it. I bet you if we stuck a battery in this thing, a lot of this would work. We just have everything. I mean, I'm just amazed. Nothing is missing. Nothing. We got power windows back here. Wow, my gosh, look at that seat. That's so nuts. Oh, it's even got the little doohickey right here for your little armrest, you know? Ugh. Wow. It's in such good shape. I'm just like amazed at what I'm seeing right now. The sun beats in through the back window and kills it, but... Oh, those ashtrays. Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Gotta have an ashtray on each seat. I'm surprised there's not cigarette lighters in the... Oh, they put it here. Oh, man. killing two birds with one stone. I know Cadillacs had them on each door armrest, but you put it in the center, both people in the back seat could use it, and both of them could use the ashtray. That's so funny. You guys hear that? I think they got a zoo back there. They got Kevin from the movie Up held hostage back there. Stamped Chrysler right on them. Freaking cool. So before we load it up, let's just do one quick look in the trunk. Look at how easy that opens. Wow. All right, so we have some more. Ooh, there's the hubcaps. Yes. We got the original jack. Oh, this was a power antenna. Wow. This car does not disappoint. Oh, what is this? One more thing. I'm sorry, I'm curious. Oh, the jack instructions. That's always one of my favorite things to see in these cars, because I'm telling you, if the jack instructions paper made it all these years, you know the car was not abused. Not too long ago, I got some new boots from Brunt Workwear, and I have to say, I've been really happy with the quality of these boots. Not only do I think they look really good, Brunt's signature cushion footbed has been seriously advantageous to me personally, being on my feet all day out here in the shop on a concrete floor. I've worn other kinds of shoes on concrete floors all day. It makes your legs hurt. Brunt has solved that problem with whatever they have in the soles of their boots. Brunt has also worked in these composite toes into the boots, so not only can you wear them personally on your own projects, but you can wear these on the job site where safety boots are required. Brunt's boots are also made out of a type of barnyard leather that's waterproof and chemical resistant, which is extremely important for me because I'm always spilling water, oil, grease, antifreeze, gear oil, everything known to man is going on these boots. So that is a very big key feature to me that makes these boots worth the purchase. Extremely comfortable and very affordable for the quality you're getting. Brunt Workwear was started by blue-collar guys to make workwear for blue-collar people like me. So I really suggest you upgrade your boot situation by going to bruntworkwear.com/Theetravisb10 and use my code Theetravisb10 to get $10 off any order of $60 or more. They offer a risk-free trial with every order, so if you buy the boots and you don't like them, you can send them back, no questions asked, so they stand behind what they sell. So thank you so much, Brunt, for sponsoring today's video, and with that, let's get back to work on this '64 Chrysler New Yorker. Hit the hinges with a little bit of lube. How many times have I bought an old car that still had the battery hold down on it? Maybe zero. Maybe the first or second one. These These are actually backwards. I was about to hook it up for him. The red cable is the negative, and the negative is the positive. Yep. A little bit of sparking. It's an electric fuel pump. Hear that? Make sure the key's off. Still a little bit of sparks, but the reason it's sparking at the terminals because the brake lights are on. I'm assuming that's the brake lights. I don't have the headlight switch on or anything, but hey, the lights work. I wonder if the brake pedal is kind of like... Yeah, the brake pedal just has some slop in it because the master cylinder is probably shot. So at least we know that worked. Let's check some other things. See if we can move this seat back for one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Key on. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think it's an electric fuel pump. That's a... I think that's a blower motor. Yeah, it's a blower motor. This must be like the rear defroster or something. Put these, I'm sure he put these here to protect this from the sun. That was a good idea. Yeah. See if it cranks. Nope. Oh, see, park. Oh. Got cranking action. I don't see the oil light coming on or off to say whether it has oil pressure. Has a horn. Let's try lights. Actually, does this thing have an amp meter? So I'm working the headlight switch back and forth. Not getting anything. The amp gauge isn't moving. Sometimes you have to turn these headlight switches back and forth. Wipers work. Oh my gosh, I can hear the wiper motor. The blower motor for the fluid. That's pretty cool. This lever is for park. I didn't know that. Oh wow, it's the remote mirror for outside. I wonder if you press this, I think that light is supposed to come on. No way! Let's see if it releases. That's cool that that works. Amazing. So you know your brake is on. 64, I'm not sure if it was transistorized quite yet. I can hear it. Oh. Oh, transistor. It says it right here. I didn't even see it. All transistor. It's trying to work. I can hear it just a little bit. Hear it? Very dim though. Cigarette lighter? Yep. Oh yeah. That definitely works. I can hear the flasher, but I don't see it on the dash. Sure do. Absolutely. Yep. Unbelievable that those lights work. I bet you all the lights work, the headlights, the tail lights, and all that. I don't think we're getting any lights, maybe because, well, either a fuse, but hardly. It could be something with the dimmer switch because the dimmer switch is stuck. I mean, that's not important right now. I'm just testing stuff, but probably the dimmer switch. That's what sends power out to the headlights, and it is stuck. So let's work on the engine. Let's take this air cleaner off and see what we got going on. I can already see some crap right there that needs to be cleaned off. See if there's any rat nest in here. Sometimes you'll see rat nest all around here, but the air cleaner is what saves the carburetor. Not locked up. Beautiful oil up to the full mark. Looks like it was just changed. See that? Beautiful. Check this brake fluid reservoir. What the heck? It looks like somebody put a brand new master on it and didn't even put fluid in it or something. It's like perfectly empty. Check the automatic trans. Yep, it's got red fluid. Red ATF up to the full mark. Check it again if it runs. What are all these? I don't even know what all that is. Also, something I just noticed, the dome light works. I also did not check the power windows. Oh. That's wicked. Needs some lube. Worked back and forth and some lube, it'll come around real good. Trying the other one. Passenger rear window's trying to work, but it's not wanting to. Let's see if it works from. Yeah, they're just like maybe stuck from age, but I think I can hear them clicking. That's really cool. So we could just pour some gas down the yap and see if it starts, but before we kill the battery and then start backtracking, let's just see if we have power to stuff, if we can get some indicator that it is going to run. So where's a good spot for this? We should be getting power. So here's the ground wire coming off, and then here is the power wire. So this is a condenser that leads to nowhere. What is this? This wire goes to Oh! What is that? Why? Something was hot. There we go. So we're getting power. Yep. What in the world? Wire's getting really hot. The light is dim, so that means that the ballast is working. It's supposed to only be getting 9 volts, which would make a dim light. There we go. See that pulsing light? Points are opening and shutting. Curiosity killed the cat. I gotta see if there's any pressure left in this refrigeration system. If I ever get one of these old cars that has factory air, and it looks complete, I always like to just kind of tap the needle valve just for fun, or the Schrader valve. You hear that? Still got some pressure in there. Yeah, basically 0. It's already out. So, yeah, no R12 in there. I bet you if you charged it, it'd hold for, I don't know, an hour. Anyway, took off all the spark plugs on the passenger side here, and they all look pretty good. No rust, not super oily. These ones were burning white hot. So I'm not going to bother taking the other side off. This car cranks good, plugs look good. This car's we're real clean, so I'm not super worried right now. Got all the spark plugs and wires put back on this side. I'm just going to kind of trust that they had the firing order right on this thing. Something else I noticed is the vacuum advance is unplugged, and they have this hose coming off of here, and it's got looks like one of those pieces from the Cracker Barrel game. You know that little game they have at the table at Cracker Barrel? It looks like one of those pegs. I wonder if we can find a hose to just test and see. I think that's too small. So if you put the hose on the vacuum advance and you just kind of suck through it, you can tell whether it's got a busted diaphragm or not. If it's not busted, we'll hook it up. Yeah. Alright, so there's a reason they did that. Another thing that's going to make this thing run like junk, if it's bad, is the booster diaphragm. Let's see here. So I got a external fuel source going on, tank, electric fuel pump going to the main feed for the carb. Got the old fuel pump unhooked. I just have the line open, so if it starts spraying fuel out, we'll shut the car off if it's going to pump. But before I turn the fuel pump on and fill up the bowl, I'm going to pour some Marvel down here, because if I don't, I always
pour it in the carburetor, so it'll...
I'm trying. What do you think I'm doing here, man?
I didn't thought you was pouring it down the motor.
I'm doing both.
Yeah, do both.
But I get killed every time I don't. People say, you ruined the engine. They're tough. These old engines are pretty dang tough. I've never had an engine give me any problems if I didn't. Like if you just started on brake fluid raw, I've never had a problem.
No.
That 60 Impala fly and drive, I drove that, if you guys remember that 60 Impala, I drove from New Jersey to here. All right, after it had sat for however many decades, I didn't pour nothing down the cylinders because I stressed for time. All I did was started on brake clean, it ran and drove 2,500 miles. I never had a lick of trouble out of that engine.
No.
It may be good practice to pour stuff.
Oh yeah, it's good practice. It's good. I mean, you can't say it's bad for it. I mean, people have cars sitting around for months, 2 months, 3 months at a time. All the oil goes back down to the pan.
Start this pump
You want me
up.
to run the key?
I hear it sucking in. Trying to see if we get any kind of accelerator pump action. Primaries and secondaries are working, but no accelerator pump.
Is that, you got that thing far enough down into the gas?
Yeah.
Tap on that carburetor, maybe it's float's just sticking. No, right. Yeah, right back there. Oh, there it goes.
Did it go? Oh!
There it goes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. You ready? Oh, see if you got power on the coil.
I already did.
Oh, you do?
I already tried all that. All right. Well, the accelerator pump already did it, but go ahead and just crank it. Wow.
I don't, let's see, we don't have an oil light. It don't work.
Must not be getting, we're getting a lot of smoke. Must not be getting anything in that carb. Try it. All right, stop.
Fuel pump working?
Yeah. Crank it over real quick.
Crank it over?
Crank it. All right, stop. Yeah, oh yeah. Fuel pump's working.
I bet it smells
No,
wrong.
it smells all right.
Huh?
It smells okay. You can get some off the floor here. Smell it. It's brown. But it smells, I mean, it really smells like okay. Not, you know. Try it.
Should I taste it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not really the worst I've ever. It doesn't even smell super rotten.
Get rid of it. It's old. It's old. I can't believe that fuel pump worked.
Working good, too.
Yeah, it's working real good.
Too good.
Is there a drain on the gas tank?
I haven't looked. I'm not sure.
I mean, maybe we could just drain it and put some new fuel in it.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Let me look.
What's it?
I didn't actually look.
If it is, it's going to be right there, but it looks like there's something there, but I can't tell. I don't know. It might be better just to suck the fuel out of it.
When we first ran it, Dad could hear like a kind of like a hissing noise, like it was building up some pressure, and this exhaust is totally clamped shut. Must have, well, this is the torsion bar little housing, and they must have went over a bump and hit it and just pretty much closed it. So I'm gonna cut it. Now it can breathe.
Yeah. Wasn't no breathing going on, I'll tell you that.
Exhaust is cut so that it can breathe. Wired this fuel up differently. I got clean gas in this can with a hose hooked to it going down to the mechanical fuel pump coming up. I put a new hose right here. It's kind of dark, but this is where the fuel filter was, but I want the fuel filter pre-pump, so I just put a hose there. Now it's running up to the carburetor, and I have the hose that was coming from the tank to the fuel pump diverted into this tank, And when we start it, I'll hook up the electric fuel pump and just let it pump that old gas into this tank while the fuel pump is, since it works, sucking gas from here, and just we'll let it run and see what happens. Try it.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Man, that thing runs good.
So the fuel pump is pulling from, well, what the heck? It was. Electric fuel pumps pumping all that old gas into here. Huh?
Do I smell antifreeze?
I don't see any on the ground. Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, it's pulling it. I still have some in there, but it was just empty, so anyway. Runs great. Runs good.
Runs good. Sounds good.
Listen to that. I don't hear any lifter noise, knocks, anything. It's running smooth. $12.3. That's not really. Rev it up a little bit. 12.5. Not really charging enough. Not. Must be out. A couple gallons. Hey, what are you looking for?
A lot of smoke.
Is there?
Over there on the other side. Trying to see what it is.
Pulleys are turning, nothing's froze up. Power steering, water pump, idler, alternator. So I poured a little over a quart of Marvel Mist Oil in the tank. Pretty sure the tank is empty. And we know the fuel line isn't plugged because obviously fuel came out all the way up front. Fuel pump is working for now. Who knows how long that diaphragm will last in there. It's old. So I put the Marvel in it and this new gas to counteract any old gas that may still be lingering at the bottom of the tank, because old gas, it's happened to me and Dad and others, that the car will run on old gas, but then when you shut the car off, it gums up the valves, and then when you try and start the car again, it'll bend the push rods. It's happened to me personally and Dad, so hopefully with a couple gallons of new gas and Marvel, it'll counteract any possible gas in that tank that could do that. Oh, for sure. See it? It's a little bit orange, but I put new fuel hose on the main feed line. Got a fuel filter hooked up to the fuel pump, pre-fuel pump. Yeah, I can tell it already pulled from the tank. And we'll just kind of let it run for a bit.
I don't see anything on the ground, which is good.
I noticed this purple wire right here was broken from here to here. I think this goes down to the temp sender, so I'm gonna fix that and see if the temp gauge starts reading. Radio's working a lot better now. Really loud.
Have a little bit of a laugh when they see you.
Pretty cool.
So not only does
And right here, I didn't even see it. This is where you work the power antenna and the map light. Map light doesn't come on. Maybe the antenna will work. Also, no power steering. Whoa. Singing me a song. It's saying, I'm gonna burn up if you don't fix me. Alright, I can see it. We'll swing her back and forth a little bit, see if it comes around. Oh yeah, I can feel it already. Yeah, the power steering in these old cars was the best. Really smooth. I mean, when they say power steering, it was really power. It could make these 5,000-pound beasts feel like you were steering a bicycle. They were really good. Go all the way left and right. Still showing full, so we'll put the lid back on it and call it good for now, unless it's got some leak somewhere that we'll find out about. Been watching for the coolant to cycle and for the thermostat to open up. Haven't seen that yet. Oh yeah, I could use some. Alright, now we're full. See if this push button transmission works. What are the odds of that? They didn't use these for very long because I don't think they were reliable back in the day, if I remember right. Oh. Hey. That's crazy. Check it out how it works. So this is neutral, reverse, neutral. That's so sick. And then like park, I guess. Yeah, it like won't work. Okay, that's pretty cool. I hooked that wire back together and I'm still not getting any temperature. So I think we're charging. Still no lights. We'll have to figure that out. Let's flip the antenna switch and see if we have any action there. No way. That's cool. Man, this car is spoiling me. I never get this lucky. A power antenna that works from the factory switch. I like this car. I'm liking it more and more every time. See, when I rev it up, I think the thermostat is opening. If it wasn't, you wouldn't see any movement when I hit the throttle. I think that's working.
I don't really like doing it this way, but there's really no good way to
Get to it.
There's just not, and I don't really want to put my hands underneath of it. As soon as I can get this underneath the part of the axle. Yeah, now you can.
Can I get on the pumpkin now?
I think now you can. Boy, the little shocks are factory. these tires were put on here in '08, so the old financial debacle got them.
They parked it because they had no money.
That was the end of it. It was put on there in '08.
They foreclosed on their house and sold the Chrysler.
Yeah, that was the end of it. Around '08, man, everybody was running. I'm telling you, man, in '08, I mean, before '08, everybody was running like big dogs.
Everybody was a big shot.
It was like the Depression, man. I went to rummage sales, and all the way down the road, there'd just be for sale, for sale, for sale, for sale. I mean, just house after house after house. I mean, just lines of them. You turn the corner, and half the houses were for sale, had for sale signs. There was a guy that worked at Nauman Hobbs, quit Nauman Hobbs because he was a contractor for going around and he was getting paid money for going out and putting up signs.
The foreclosure signs?
Yeah. And he quit. He was making more money going out putting for sale signs up at houses than he was working at Nauman Hobbs.
That's crazy.
It was mind-boggling. The kind of stuff that I was seeing for sale at rummage sales. I bought all kinds of stuff. This dude, you could tell he was living large until all that happened. And he had a rummage sale. He said, dude, my wife is stuck in New York. I got to come up with money to get her home. Everything he had, he was selling it for nothing. I think that was the closest I've ever seen it to a depression.
Let me see that gun.
Guys at Costco was telling me that they have never ever had anybody ask them about getting a job there. And he said, dude, I have had so many people ask me about getting jobs here. He said, it's unbelievable.
People just living way above their pay grade.
Yeah. Things was bad.
People were running scared.
Oh, yes, they was.
Yeah, my biggest mistake was being 12 years old and not being able to buy land.
The deals were crazy. The deals were crazy.
I have all those big impacts in the top of that toolbox.
Yeah, we'll have to see. This says 1.25 inches. That's too big. No, that's the one.
Boy, this old cotter pin's daddy long legs. Thing's 10 feet long.
Well, that proves it's been off there.
Yeah. Shoes are brand new, dude.
Really?
Wheel cylinders look great.
Maybe somebody did a brake job on it and didn't. Somebody had this back one apart.
Wheel cylinder looks to be in pretty good shape. Nothing leaking out of it. The shoes, look at the meat on that. Look how wide it is. That's a wide shoe right there. Yeah, shoes look good. Hardware looks good. These have been done sometime in the past. Old enough to still be made in USA. Why would you have to pull this whole axle out?
What? That's the way all them old Chrysler was.
So it turns out you don't have to take the hub off to get the brake drum off, but these brakes look beautiful.
The wheel cylinders look brand new. They're
USA.
It's kind of hard for me to believe they're not going to leak. I don't know.
Totally brand new brakes.
You could slip the drum back on it, and I mean, it looks like they repacked those front wheel bearings and everything. Ta-da! Look at that. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, those look really good. I'm impressed. trying to figure out what parts we need to order, and right now we're going to test this dimmer switch to see why the headlights aren't working. So no power to the dimmer?
Nothing. You got a 12-volt wire. I can put 12 volts to that and the headlights should come on. That'll eliminate the dimmer switch. All right, the headlights should come on.
Yep.
Bright, dim, what
That's
is it?
dim.
All right, hold on.
Yep, they all work.
Okay, so probably gonna have to access that silly thing. The headlight switch. I mean, usually they don't go bad. That's weird. Hold on, I mean, them headlight switches are very durable.
We concluded that the dimmer switch is working, but it's not getting power down to it. So that would lead us to believe that it could be the headlight switch. We looked up a wiring harness for this car, and it shows there's a black wire that should be getting power all the time, and it is. So there's power going to the headlight switch, but nothing is leaving the headlight switch. So we're going to take this headlight switch out. Maybe it's bad. Yeah, I just heard it fall, so this should come out. Yeah, this is just a socket. Or it's a nut, socket, whatever. Let's see where that headlight switch went. It's kind of cool. Little spades and Mopar right on it. That's awesome. Power. So this would be headlights on, off, rheostat. Nowhere. Okay. This must be for the dash lights. Make your dash lights bright, dim. Age should mean headlights. And instruments are shutting off when you pull it all the way, which shouldn't they stay on? Once you pull this out once, it should stay on. This could be bad. we got some nice 14-inch tires put back on the original rims. We got the skinny white wall, which I think would have been factory correct for these. And they'll go on and they'll look good, and I'll be able to put the original hubcaps on it. It'll look sweet. We got some parts in the mail. We got a fuel pump. We have an oil filter that looks way too small. We got all the brake hoses. Those will go on. We got the headlight switch. We got the water pump, which it's not leaking, and I shook the fan and the bearing seems good, but I got it just as an insurance policy in case it does start leaking. And if I sell the car, I can at least include it with it. And the air filtre. I think we got what we need to get this car on the road. Well, I got the headlight switch hooked up. Pull 1, pull 2. Hey, I can see them. It was the headlight switch. All right. All right, brake hose on. Crazy I can do that with my finger. Sorry to all the guys out in the Midwest and the East. All right, it's on. We'll have to re-bleed them though. So I actually had to take the fuel pump off because it wasn't going on, and I thought, well, this might be like the small blocks. What if there's a rod in there? And there was. So behind here, usually the fuel pump rides against the cam, but on these engines, they actually have a rod that slides up and down. One end rides against the arm on the fuel pump, the other rides against the arm on the cam, and it's just in a hole. So when you pull the fuel pump off, the rod slips down. When you try to put the new fuel pump on, you can't get it on. It's because the arm is hitting that rod. So I had to put some Vaseline on the rod, shove it up in there, and the Vaseline will hold it up there long enough to slip the fuel pump in. Vaseline's harmless, so not a big deal. Fuel pump going on, got the new gasket on it. We should have a new fuel pump here in about 10 seconds. Brakes are bled. I adjusted them. We should be good to go.
And the oil looks brand new.
And
No, I don't know if that theory is worth a crap or not.
course, it'll never run again. Go ahead. Man, what a sweet running motor. What a sweet running car.
Good.
Man, this thing is so nice. Oh, no. What are you doing? Oh. That booster got a leak?
Yeah.
I thought the booster was good, but it ain't.
Let's see, we got the reverse. I have to unhook that booster.
I'm gonna take it for a little drive and see if the transmission works. So, brakes work, power steering is working. Oh, oh my gosh, that power steering is a one-finger wonder, man. So nice. Oh yeah, brakes are solid, solid, solid. I like this car. You know, I'm not usually a Chrysler man. I'm not ditzing on Chrysler. I'm usually a GM or Cummins guy, but this car is really cool. Really cool. Runs so good. Runs so good. Can't believe that push button transmission works.
I can't either, because I heard back in the day that they used to give a lot of trouble. That was why they went away from them. Man alive.
First, second, third.
Oh my gosh.
Alternator's charging.
That thing is so sweet. Bet the gas gauge don't work.
Yeah, I don't think the gas gauge works.
Brakes real sketchy.
No, they're solid. Like, they work good, we just don't have the assist. If we had the assist, it'd be like, brakes are working great. So impressed with this car. Now we know why it needed all that tranny fluid in the power steering. You can see that drip is right below the power steering pump. Yep, right there.
What's the matter? You got the hose still in the gas tank? Did you drive off and drag that sucker off? Man, this thing runs good.
Smooth.
This thing will take a trip. Is that speedometer working? It ain't, is it?
No.
I'm sure you unhooked the heater core. No?
Nope, I left the heater core hooked up.
This thing sure runs good.
What a killer car. Jeez.
This car here, man, will set the highway. Oh, did you check the grease in the rear end?
No.
No?
No, I gotta do that. I didn't do it.
It'd be a good time to look and see if that gauge is... Maybe it's just got a bad connection or something. Maybe you can fiddle it around. Man, she's a sweetie.
Yeah. Jeez. it's in drive, but if you put it in park, it engages the neutral button. It takes it out of gear. That's cool. The button for drive is pressed, and if you hit the park, it takes it out of drive and puts it in neutral. How cool is that? I think this 1964 Chrysler New Yorker has turned out to be a pretty sweet old car. You know, as I was going through, checking everything, I always just make a big list of parts to buy, and I kept looking for stuff to buy for the car, and every time I would check something, it would say, nope, I don't need you to buy me. Nope, I don't need you to buy me. I didn't need to buy spark plugs, all the normal stuff. Plug wires, points, condenser, cap, rotor, even the brakes. I didn't show it on camera, but the brake drums had just been turned. They looked like they were just cut. There was no ridge on the brake drum at all. It was cut. All four were cut. The shoes were brand new. The wheel cylinders looked brand new. The hose, the driver's side hose was plugged. But hoses and the master looked beautiful. Put fluid in it and the brakes work. They work stout and good. They're adjusted. They work great. It didn't need belts. That's just a given. I always buy belts. The belts look good, meat on them, not super dry rotted. The radiator hoses are pliable. It doesn't leak anywhere. It doesn't leak water. It doesn't leak oil. It doesn't leak nothing. Let's see, well, the power steering leaks. So there's that, but whatever, that's not really a big deal. The car just kept telling me, I'm solid, I'm solid. So I did not buy nearly as much as I normally buy for these old cars. So the whole idea at the beginning of the video is, can we make this a daily driver on a budget, you know? So let's just go over the cost real quick. The car was $400, battery was $94, Marvel oil $7, gas $20, ATF $10, title work was $200. I did not get a title when I bought it. I had to go through that whole rigmarole to get a title for it, so that was that. Tires were $297. All the stuff from Rock Auto was $126, the headlight switch and the other knick-knack stuff. So we are into this car for a grand total all-in cost of $1,154. That's pretty good. Usually it costs me $1,000 to get a car roadworthy no matter what I paid for it. It's just a given. It's going to be $1,000. Between tires and all the bad rubber stuff, it's always $1,000. So the fact that we're in this car for that is really good. It just solid car. That's all I have to say. Really solid car. Now I might do a road trip video in this. You have to let me know in the comments if you would like to see that. It's a maybe. I have some cars I've bought in other parts of the country that I want to do flying drives on, and I was debating on driving this car to the location of one of them. So would you guys want to see a road trip in the 64 Chrysler? If so, I'll keep it around for a few months until I can make that happen, because I really think this car would make a road trip. This is a road tripping car, and it is solid enough to make it. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It'll be at least 1,000 miles. Also, I saw some receipts in the back seat that I have still not went through since I got the car, so let's see if there's anything interesting in there. Got some stuff here, I think. Yeah. Have to vacuum some of that out. So here's the stuff for the brakes. Brake booster, compressor and receiver. Let's see, this one says receiver dryer. I did see on the receiver dryer up at the front of the engine that the receiver dryer had been replaced because it says R134A compatible. Booster and cylinder, probably wheel cylinders and brake fluid. So that was done in 97. So that was, well, I was born in 97. Actually, I was born in February of 97. So this was 2 months and 7 days after I was born. They did this work. So that was 28 years ago. This receipt is from Sam's Club, 1996. It had tires done, G15 7514. Tire fee, that's probably like throwing away the old tire fee, was $1. A new tire was $37.99, $38 for a tire for this car. Looks like you got two, and it was about $100. This was in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, so the other one was in Levittown. The brakes were Levittown, Pennsylvania, so this spent all of its life up into the 90s in Pennsylvania. This is also from Sam's Club, probably the tire center. Yeah. This is interesting. This is the last piece of the puzzle as to how this car ended up out here. So this is a bill of lading, which is what all shippers have to explain what they're shipping. And here's the car. See, car goes as is, too many rust spots, whatever, no major damage. So they're describing the car so that when they're shipping it and somebody gets it at the other end and they say, hey, there's damage here, here, and here, the shipper can say, nope, it was already like that. We did not damage it. It's basically to stop people from saying, you damaged my car. See, this was in 7/13 of 00, so 2000. So this car was transported in 2000, and it was transported to, so there's like a lot of personal information right here. I have no idea who they are, but you know, I don't want to show it, I guess. But it was transported to Scottsdale, Arizona, to a public storage facility, because it says it right here, public storage. What's interesting is they wrote the odometer as having 128,939, even though obviously it only shows 28. But maybe the previous owner knew it had rolled over and said, hey, put 128. That's the true mileage. But if you notice, this says 28,963 versus 28,939. So 4,959. So only like 25 miles were put on the car since 2000. So that's pretty definite right there. And those miles were probably only put on it to move it from one place to another. So we can say this car for sure quit running and being driven in 2000. So that's 25 years. Well, there you have it. That's the Rosetta Stone of this entire story. It lived in Pennsylvania all its life. It was brought out here in 2000 to Scottsdale, Arizona, which is just 2 hours up the road, to a public storage facility. 20-some miles were put on it since then, probably not even driving it, just moving it. And then I got it. So it has not ran and drove in 25 years. And here she stands, tall today, just as good as a daily driver as it ever may have been. So I'm happy I found that. So here in the next 5 or 6 weeks, our daughter is supposed to be born, our first daughter. April 5th is the supposed due date, but you know, they're never quite right on that. But that's like when to expect things to happen. So I'll only be seeing you guys a few more videos before the baby's here. So like always, I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I really do. Liking, subscribing, watching, commenting, the feedback. I read everything, and appreciate you all. I'll keep you guys updated as things go along. And as always, guys, we will see you in the next one.